Good morning. Today is Wednesday, February 16th, 2 days after Valentine's Day. Yesterday did not have any additional income for the primary job, had an above average day with the secondary income. It felt good to get back to doing that because that money goes directly into the brokerage account. The document, I worked on that yesterday at work, and kind of leads me into a topic of technology. And I started printing up and breaking down section by section each one of the chapters, the first chapter, the second chapter, and then selected the text and then printed it, just to make it easier to view the content and break it down, because the document already is 390 pages long, and it just makes it a lot easier to see the total flow of everything and probably break down each section into actionable items to go into the appendix. And what I noticed with the technology is that you should always buy as much technology as you can afford. Never be skimping on your technology. Make sure that you're purchasing enough to, in a sense, leapfrog into the next time that you have to purchase technology. And the reason being is because it's like I would select the text, I would print it, and have to wait for the document, although it is a massive document. It would just take forever. So I thought, the printer at home just goes a lot faster. And the problem was we had bought some knockoff printer cartridges, and therefore, even though it printed very quickly, the quality of the print, because of the ink cartridge, was not acceptable. So, good idea, making progress, but really saw the value of time. To have to click and wait. Granted, what it was 10 years ago, where we used to have to load Windows for Workgroups with like 28 floppies, and it would take, a couple of hours, and you get to the last one, and there would be a hiccup, and you'd have to go back and do it all over again. It's much faster now, but, we wish that we had technology that when we thought it, we'd click a button and bam, it would be done. And we're getting there, not quite there yet. And if there is that technology out there, it is extremely expensive and not something at this point in time in our life that we can afford. So that is something to consider down the road, especially when trading stocks and doing our charts and our lines. We want everything to be responsive to our actions. We want almost immediate results. There comes a point in time where there's you can't even tell the difference. But if everything is bogging down the system, that's just not a good thing. So that would be my recommendation for phones, for computers, for printers, etc. You want as much memory speed through processing and technology as you can possibly afford. So time is, as you grow up, the most precious commodity that you have. And if you can get your thoughts out of your head and make them into actionable items faster, that just means that you'll be able to move that much faster. And it really comes down to time and momentum. And once you have that momentum started, it's difficult to get it started, but once you do get it started, it just makes things so much easier in life. So I did get approached by Progressive from the accident that we had back in August, and they're wanting me to sign some type of an affidavit, and it turns out that one of the individuals that was involved in the accident, I guess, has exceeded the medical portion of our policy, and so now Progressive is wanting me to sign some type of an affidavit that I don't have any assets. And so we're going through Legal Shield to have them review the document, because one of the open-ended questions is, do you have enough liquid assets in case there's any type of a judgment, and they want to see if you have the ability to satisfy that. So that brings us to the legal section of the once invested document. You see, if I did not have any assets in my name, and even if I had millions of dollars piled up, if I was to get into an accident, they would not be able to touch those assets because they would be inside of those different legal entities. And under my social security number, under me as an individual, I would have nothing. And therefore, it would be very easy to answer that, I do not have any assets because the corporation has the assets. And so, unless they decided to try and sue the corporation for that, that would be the only way that they would possibly be able to get to that. And that's also why you break those different entities into sub-entities, if you will, because if they get one pile of cash, you're still preserving the rest of the nest egg. So this is a real-world situation as to what it is that we're talking about, as to how to protect yourself. Because see, once you have the money, those who have not done anything to gain that knowledge and apply that knowledge and reap the rewards of that knowledge, they want access to the funds that you've created from that knowledge. And so, protect yourself. This is a real world situation that they're trying to go after my assets. And I understand, and the accident was caused, and how insurance works, and how they want to become whole again, and that they would not have experienced these financial burdens themselves had not the accident happened. But there are ways of protecting yourselves, and so that's why I'm delving deeper into this area, because I'm seeing from a real world standpoint that everybody is vulnerable unless they take these actions. So just something that if you sit at my feet, I can share that knowledge with you. If I'm not here, then hopefully the document will do that and give you some open-ended questions so that you can get some legal advice and take the proper actions, and or just slide into the umbrella that I'm hopefully creating. So today we're going to continue the process with the once invested document, try and print stuff up throughout the day to get into chapter 3. I started that process, like I said, at home, but then as we're printing that up and waiting for the computer, hopefully I'll be able to delve into some of these sections, reorganize some of this information, and make it so that it flows better, as well as dissect those individual sections and start coming up with action items and be able to answer as to whether or not those action items have been completed. So happy Wednesday, it's hump day, and hopefully today is a great day for you guys. And I'm almost to work, so I'm going to let you go, and